Let me start by asking, anybody know who knows anything about W.B. Du Bois? The name Du Bois. They told me y'all were some of the smartest kids in the school, so don't embarrass your principal now. I raised that issue about Du Bois because Du Bois is at the center of what this tour is all about. Du Bois wasn't just the first black intellectual, the first black to graduate from Harvard with a PhD, but he was also the first widely recognized black intellectual. That means that Du Bois was really bright, and the first one recognized, first African-American to be recognized as being as bright as he was. So Du Bois said something over 100 years ago, about 104, 105 years ago now. He said something, in fact, he wrote something that we have gone back to, and we built this tour around. I'll tell you more about the tour and why I specifically came to see you today. But Du Bois said over 100 years ago, wrote over 100 years ago about this notion of the talented 10th. That's why this tour is called the Talented 10th, obviously, high school tour. So for years now, we've been traveling around the country with the support of the Navy. We've been traveling around the country talking to young people about what this notion of the talented 10th was all about. What does it mean to be a part of the talented 10th? What is the challenge to your generation? And specifically the talented 10th part of your generation. Now, what Du Bois was talking about in the talented 10th, and I want to get through this, and at the end I'll leave some time for some questions and some comments. We'll get to that in just a second here. But first, Du Bois and this notion of the talented 10th is essentially suggesting that in every generation of every community, in every generation in the Hispanic community, every generation in the Asian community, every generation in the black community, of course, Du Bois, being a black intellectual, was talking specifically about the African-American community. But in every community, the argument is that we have to identify the talented 10th in that community, in that generation. Where is that 10%? That 10% of folk in every generation who are going to step up and lead.